And we have listened to the president say that nobody should charge a fee in level 1, level 2, level 3, including level 4. But we still find in your financial statements collections from those facilities. So who is telling the truth? Is it the president? Or is it the governors?
We are telling the truth, and the president is also not lying. And I'll tell you how. When the president is not lying on this, and we are telling the truth. When you do not charge a fee on level 1 and 2, normally when a registered SHA person appears before those facilities, there is a refund. I think it's once in a year. What is it called? It has a name, about 1,000 per person. It covers for that. So basically, there is revenue from all those.
Is it the capitation?
Capitation, yes, you have the right word. So when many people attend a health facility, for instance, in my village called Manyata, there is one called Nyasori, and probably there is one in another village. The more they attend, the more the capitation is. That should meet that need. So it still generates revenue. So when the president says don't charge, yes, there is a capitation that takes care of that. Now, to respond to Senator Cherargei's issue, this is our response. One, when we talk about recruiting additional 600, we are talking about regularization. You regularize through recruitment. It may not increase the number, but it enables the county to issue letters of appointment. So that is the progression we are trying to make. We are trying to have the temporary staff have letters of engagement so that the auditors will observe and Senate will observe that we are progressively complying with that requirement. If you calculate our wage bill in 2024-2025, if you look at it, which is 3,240,000,000 and some other figures against our revenues of 9 billion, it's at 35.7%. So it's not that we are growing exponentially and violating the requirement with impunity. We are trying to control the pressure. But again, Chair, from where I see it, and this may not be scientific, but I suspect that this figure of 141, just allow me to be 141 from 34, I think it is my administration is the one that is now capturing it accurately. I think the number 34 was suppressed. It was low reporting. Because when we now...
So where would they be paid from?
You see, the 2022-2023, we came into office. When we came into office, these numbers that you are seeing, we picked them from the administration that was ahead of us. They reported this as the wage bill of casuals. This was what, in my view, this is my view. When the actual report, when we did our own report and looked at it, this is the number that we came up with. I do not think, and I stand to be corrected, the auditors will check, whether we agree with this first. Yes, we got people to man health and other places, but when we will drill down on the numbers, and now that it has come to my attention, we can see how many, in addition to what existed, we added. But it could not have raised this number by 300%. I'm certain of that. We have casuals, and we have many of them, and the departments have been paying them, and our administration is insisting on documenting them, paying them not through cash, paying them through the banks, and also having a timesheet so that they are not as fluid and as invisible as sanguineous. So this is the number that we were able to capture during this financial year, and that is what is accurate. Thank you, Chair.
Question?
Chair, I'm finding the governor's explanation very problematic. because the people who are reporting are CPS and professionals. If you have 500 employees earning 38 million, and the list is there, and now you're saying maybe it was underreporting, and so the actual value is this. So where would we get the rest of the people who are being paid, or how are they being paid? You know, that is a really big problem to me, Governor. Is it possible to pick wrong data and to pick the employees from elsewhere and bring them into the fray of employees of the county so that the budget can go up? If paying 100 employees costs 30 million, then if they are supposed to be paid, there's supposed to be 300 employees, then we should ask, where were these 200 employees being paid from? That is really problematic to me.
Governor?
Well, for instance, when we came into office, 2022, at that particular time, you would find that there were casuals with arrears amounting to over 12 months. With arrears, you would find that their health facilities where casuals would be working there, they are not getting paid, but they are actually working there. Some of them, if you looked at them closely, were as desperate to the extent that you would find them involved in trying to collect monies from the patients to survive on, because
So there was deduction at source to take care of them.
some of those things. So in this year, when you now want to document everybody and pay them, part of the shift from 34 to 144 arose out of that one. That was the administration before us. We do not want to judge them negatively, but that is the information we received. Now, when we were documenting our casuals and looking at them, they were not new people, but they were not in this reportage. So when
Did you carry out what new governors have done?
Yes,
a staff
we did.
audit?
Yes, we did. We
Okay.
audited them, and we audited what was paid to them, and the details of how they were receiving their remuneration. And the issue of casuals is a headache. It's a headache.
Have you seen a copy of the OAG's report on special audit on payroll in Migori?
There,
Has it been brought to your attention, Governor?
one was issued recently last week. We have not had occasion to meet over it. Last week was a sweet week for Homa Bay and Migori Devolution Conference, so we got lost in that mix, and we didn't have.
So since there's a special audit report on that, I think it would be useful for us to apply our minds to the interrogation that was done by the Office of the Auditor General. You know, on the surface, having been on the 34%, 33% ratio, we have seen worse scenarios. But it should not be a license for you to try and keep up with your neighbors. Some of your neighbors are not the best example when it comes to this particular matter. So please just ensure it remains within that 35% threshold. Senator Chirarge.
Chair, I think I also agree with the Vice Chair, because, Governor, this is the financial statements are generated by you, and by the time it comes up, it goes through the. So, Governor, was there any amended financial statements to try and correct or to put into perspective what you are indicating? Because in 2022-2023, I want to believe that the governor was sworn in the first quarter of financial year, that is around September, because the financial year began in June 2022 and ended in June 2023. So governor had opportunity to rectify. So my concern, since you are coming in the first quarter of that financial year, even if you had noticed this, is there an amended financial statements to reflect the position that you are alluding to? And number two, would it be in order, Chair, to allude that if we can get the recommendations of the staff audit that was done, so that we can see what the I don't know, Governor, whether it was it done internally or did you gazette people who did that? So what that will be my two follow-up questions.
I may respond. Actually, for 2022-2023, the provision of the budget for casuals was this, 34 million. And since we were in office, starting 25th, which was yesterday, actually yesterday is our 3rd anniversary in office. At the end of that year, now we were documenting the actual staff and what they were owed. That is what led to this growth. At the end, because we found the budget running, you expend what is in the budget. At the end of the year, you notice that there are some staff who have not been paid for 1 year. In fact, for those who look at, and I wish my senator was here, some of the demonstrations were going to his office asking for those wages, and my office, the people who had not been paid. So when we came to 2023-2024, we had to factor these people who had not been paid for a long time. So that is what grew the number. Some of the ones that had not been captured by the previous administration, but they needed to be paid and they could prove that there was staff. So it grew this number. So I still strongly believe that this suppressed number of 34 million was an inaccurate number based on non-payment and non-counting of the casuals or the temporary staff at that particular time. The accurate number, together with the raise and a few additionals that we had, is what cost the 141 million. The head count we did internally. We actually got the assistance of the professional body that is responsible for HR. For the casuals, we counted them ourselves internally. We also verified people's certificates, and some of them, about 100 and something, did not have the correct or legally approved certificates.
Now that you are casting doubt on the figures presented in prior year, I would also want to question how employer contribution to compulsory national health insurance scheme was at 230 million in the prior year and only 52 million in the reporting year. One would have expected that as the figure, as you grow your employee cost by 500 million, there would be a corresponding increase in insurance scheme cover.